just wanna feel like this forever. I love it when my feet don't touch the ground, touch the ground. Don't wanna let these colors fade, kaleidoscopes inside my head. Just wanna feel like this, just wanna feel like this forever.
Alright, good morning everybody, how you doing? We are just getting started in the race this morning. We're going to watch the men take off out of the pin here. We're going to try to get multiple views going for you this morning. We'll do our best to bring you as much action as we can. So, as they get rolling out of the pin here, we'll try to grab a hold of a few riders here and give you guys a good view of the show. Just getting woke up this morning. Pretty early in the morning for me. Getting a few things started still. A little bit of echo here in the background. Turning some things down. These guys are racing off the starting pin right now. And they are racing a figure 8 loop. So, figure 8 loop on Watopia Island is a loop of, starts out going down Ocean Road. At the end of Ocean Road, you will go straight and go up the reverse KOM. So that is roughly a 3-minute climb, or 4-minute climb. Once you get up to the top of that one, you do a nice long section of flat, which takes you reverse through the Essies, back down Ocean Road, and then up the forward Watopia climb, which is a little sharper 2.5 minute effort. And then you will finish off going through the Essies. And up the forward, we were getting the Facebook comments up here as well. So we are live on Mixer, Facebook, CycleView, YouTube, a few other locations. I have chat open for Mixer, Facebook, CycleView. This is the men's race here. We are at the front. We are currently following Jason Flores's avatar, and we have the ability to watch multiple avatars here. You can jump on over to CycleView and you can check out any of the racers that are streaming over there. So we got a little bit of a CycleView action going here. We can show it to you a little bit. You can see we can pull up Sadeo Akibe here. We can pull up a little Eric Denning. Looks like we've got Justin Wagner as well. So you can go on over there and check those out for yourself. We'll bring some of those to you here in stream as well. We also have a little bit of a ladies stream going as well. I do have an avatar that we're currently following, Claudia Baring. Yeah, she is probably the lead lady right now. She is in the front group here still. So the way they had to adjust the starting pins this week, I think it was a little unexpected, but the ladies and the men are visible to one another in the categories right now. And bear with CVR a little bit while they working through getting some of that stuff flushed out. But right now it looks like there's a little overlap, and they will work to see if they can't do something a little different there. Getting a few pop-ups open here so we can watch the race. One thing awesome about going over to Cycle View and watching the race from there is you will be able to pull up multiple views of riders, look at them firsthand, and full screen. So here we've got, this is a nice video coming in. Justin has really high quality stuff going in over to Cycle View. So what you're seeing now is Justin's full screen as it's being displayed from Cycle View. And we're going to watch this. This is going to be a good section of the race that a little bit of stuff can break apart. And we're going to watch from Justin's point of view. It's just a few seconds behind live. As they go up and out of the Ocean Road section here, you're going to see some things break apart here. Potentially some real attacks on the front. But you're also going to be able to see Justin's live avatar doing some reacting here. So you can see here, if you watch Justin's power, Justin's heart rate, you're going to see those numbers go up. You're going to see some big efforts here. You can see on the right hand side of his screen, you're seeing some orange numbers come through. Some guys are really hammering. That's Jason Flores at the front, really pushing hard. Justin is following that up and is going to follow that move. You can see a little bit of a change in his posture on the bike, his effort. You're seeing him really work hard now to get across this gap to go with those guys and try to catch onto that wheel. We jump back into the main group now. And we're going to work a little bit harder today to give you a little bit more of those first-person views. We've got a few of them kind of queued up here. Shout out to the ODZ teammates here. They have all been great about getting the streaming set up. So we've got a lot of good views here of some guys in this front pack. Just scanning a little bit. Guys are all back together, getting ready to come up on this hill. And trying to get an eye out on who we have here available to check out in stream. Hey guys over at Mixer, how's it going? Appreciate the shout outs there. Hope everything's going well. Appreciate everybody stopping in and checking us out. Working a little bit on the streams this morning. Gonna try to do some things a little bit different. Shout out here, our one of our female riders has made it into the lead group here. This is live from Cycle View as well. So if you go over to cycleview.cvrworldcup.com, you can select these individual race streams all on your own. But here you can see Claudia rocking that orange ladies jersey, meaning she went out and got the fastest lap time on the island in her warm-up. She's still hanging in here with the front men's group. You can see her sweating in her pain cave there. We also have in that front group, we've got Mr. Flores here, Jason Flores from Team ODZ, hammering away out there in his California pain cave, and a little bit of freeze there, and that's likely on my end because I have so many different streams running right now. But nice high quality video there from Jason as well. Good overlay, really crystal clear. things looking good. These are all cycle view views in the front peloton here from these guys too. Here we've got Sadeo Akibe, who was our performance division winner from CVR World Cup in LA. He is riding his rollers and brushing up against the wall there a little bit. Got a little bit of a little side-to-side action, but not near as much as he's got on a fixed trainer. Riding rollers there, so a little extra challenge for Sadeo as he sits in on this front group as well. We also have fellow teammates from ODZ here. Eric Denning also sitting on this front pack. These guys are all having a good time here in this front. There's ODZ jerseys everywhere, and they are getting ready to take on this hill. So I think we're going to keep an eye on this hill through these live views. Let's watch these guys suffer a little bit. So we're going to start here on Justin as they come up to this hill. It'll be a little bit behind. These videos are all just a tad bit behind real time because they have to get up to cycle view and get processed. So, but we're going to watch this from a first person point of view since we have quite a few of these guys in a first person perspective out of this front group. So we're going to switch between Justin, Eric, Jason, Sadeo, Claudia in some of those first person views as we come up to this hill climb. Start with Claudia here to see how she can, and there are a little bit different points on the hill here. We're going to watch Claudia as she is coming up to this hill climb, and you're going to see this pack stretch out. She's going to work hard to try to hold on to this group as best she can. And here you can see the effort is going to start picking up significantly now. Guys are really going to be hammering up the road. And Claudia will do her best to hold on to this here. But I think we're going to see a few other guys stretching this out a little bit when it comes to this hill. It's at about a four-minute effort getting up this hill, but the worst part is just getting through this alien statue right here in front of Claudia. So as she starts rounding around this corner, you're going to see how it's stretched out a little bit ahead of her. And we'll switch over to Justin's point of view, where Justin here is right at the front of this group, really instigating some of this pace. You can see him going around the front of the group. Gets to this flat section, takes a little rest, and you're going to see he's going to dig again as they hit this uphill. 175 heart rate, definitely working hard there for Justin. Eric Denning here as well, just fell off that front group. He is about 4 or 5 seconds behind Justin now. 184 heart rate, just not quite able to hold on to that front group there. You can see him just ahead of him. Is he going to put in that extra dig here? It does not look like he is. Oh, there he gets out of the saddle. You can see now Eric is going all in trying to get across that gap. But those guys ahead of him, Nate Scott up here at 5.5 watts per kilogram, Adam Boyko 3 seconds ahead of him. I don't think he's going to make it across that gap. Akibe has been able to hold on to this front group. You can see here Sadeo rocking and rolling on those rollers. He's sitting right here on this front wheel in the pack with him. Was this Mizutani, McQuaid, Wagner, Christensen, Piper, Mateus. Getting a decent group formed here off the front, but not a huge group. So we're going to see if these guys can secure this, stay away. Looks like there's a couple guys trying to close it. Not sure if they're going to be able to get all the way across that or not. So big efforts by these guys. We'll get back here. We can see Justin now just hanging in this front group. Flipping back now through... McQuaid is definitely a strong rider up there in that front group. This is Jason Flores, front view now. He is in this second group, I believe, chasing. Yes, he is just about 15 seconds off the front group. You notice here from Jason's point of view, he uses a little bit different camera angle. He's using the first person camera angle, so you're looking at his as if you were actually sitting on the bike. He does not have that kind of third-person view going where you're right behind the rider's head. He's actually down in the cockpit of the bike with his view, seeing it as if he was actually sitting on the bike directly. You can see here, Claudia has found a nice little group for her to ride in and settle in here with the group. So she's settling in with this group here and riding hard and going to be able to stretch out her lead here, I think, with the ladies groups. So getting back over to, this is the kind of first person where we can scan around with the riders a little bit and kind of take stock of how the race shaped up over the hill there. You can see the hill climb netted out to be about a 347 hill climb for the front of this group. We've got up here, this is the lead pack that we have found here. Vitor, Mateus, F. Ortiz, McQuaid, Mizutani, Zaki, Christensen, Piper. Those are names we're seeing in the front group. Ikibe here. We watched a little bit of his life. So this is your front group. They've got quite a bit of flat land to go now. Probably 5 or 6 miles they're going to go flat here before they hit a really sharp uphill going up the forward KOM, and that will be a section where they're really going to probably break some more people apart here. This is a fairly short race today. I believe it's only 18 miles, so they are getting close to halfway already, and still have one more hill to go. To get to that hill, they do have to go through the Essies. They're going to go through the Essies in a reverse scenario right now, which makes it kind of hard, not too bad. And then toward the end of the race, coming to the finish, they will come through the Essies in the standard forward direction, which also has a nice little kick going into it that can sometimes wreak some havoc on the finish of a race. I'm getting a guess over there of about 40 minutes for the whole race. That's probably a good guess. Getting some shout outs for Ryan Christensen to smash it. Ryan is here in the race. Looks like he is performing nice and strong. We got McQuaid hitting some orange numbers here on the front. Our team Draft never lets us down, hammering off the front and pushing things. This is where things can get broken apart. And we can see how people can get stretched off real quick here. So we're going to bounce over and see if we can watch this. Now we're going to watch this from Justin's point of view. You can see those orange numbers up the road from Justin. This is just a few seconds behind real time. So you can see Justin having to react to that attack here in real time. Justin having a little bit of a lag on his streams over there at CycleView. We saw that attack happen, and then here you can go back and look at it from Justin's point of view. We're watching it. You can see that attack that Draft did has got that gap, and now Justin's having to put out these huge numbers to close it. And this is what you can kind of see in the race as it happens, and see it from a first-person point of view. This attack is not over. It is still going on. We're going to watch Justin's avatar here for a few minutes and watch these guys go through the Essies like this. You can see Justin really suffering. Chasing Christensen now, who has gotten off the front. And Justin is continuing to hammer to catch on to that. Justin has now caught the front of the group in his stream and jumps out of the saddle again and is now going to do his turn on the front to really break this apart. You can see by looking back behind Justin on the riders nearby list here on the right hand side of the screen, you can see these 1 and 2 second gaps going behind him. This tells Justin, without having to look over his shoulder in the game, he knows that that is really stretched out behind him. Now you're seeing those numbers drop down 0, 1 second. Now they're going to bunch back up, and you're going to see them come back together into a group here. We're going to watch Justin for just a couple more seconds. They're dipping down into a dip right now. and coming up out of that dip is going to be a little bit of a hill. You see this hill right ahead of Justin. Now they're going to turn right, go up this little hill here, and we'll see if anybody does anything on this little hill. Sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. It's been hard up to this point, so I don't expect any real major things to happen here. We did see Ortiz kick a little bit. Justin reacted a little bit, and 500 watts is definitely some big numbers here. But it looks like they've just about crested that hill and they're going to settle in. So we'll go see if we can check out a few other of these first-person views. Here we've got Claudia coming through that same section. She is about a minute behind Justin on track. You can see here Claudia coming through the Essies in this small group. Looks like a group of about 6 riders, and just hanging on to them. Her heart rate running in the high 170s. Definitely a hard effort for her. Jumping out of the saddle here to try to hold on to that gap. She's coming through a similar area that we just watched Justin do. Now she is going to take that little bit of a right-hand bend right here and go up this last little dig out of the Essies to try to hold on to this pack. In this pack with her, she has Broadman, White, Pato, and Koning, it looks like. So it looks like Claudia is going to be able to hold on to that group, and they're going to get up out of that climb fairly safely. So we're going to rotate around to a few of our other first-person views here. Here we have J-Flo, Jason Flores. Jason's always got a good bobble going on. Always hammering high cadence. You can tell by watching his avatar, he's always got those legs rolling over nice and fast. Jason is in the second group on the road. If you look in the upper, you can't see it. My camera is covering it up. So let's fix that. Let's get my ugly face off this screen and give you guys a better view. If you look in the upper right hand side of Jason's screen now, you can see that he is about 15th place in the race. It says up there 15th, 16th, 17th out of 67. So a racer can always see where he's at in relative position in the race by looking at that. They all will have that in their screens, and we'll be able to spot where they're at. Sorry for the little distraction there. I lost my own personal view, so we are down to just third-person views for now. Jumping back over here, Eric Denning. Eric Denning is in that same pack as Jason Flores. They're riding in the same bunch, so you can see the same relative positions from Eric. 14th, 16th here on the road. And these guys look like they've got a good pack going on here. Can't quite see what the gap is up to the leaders yet, but we will spot that here in a few minutes as we get a little bit bouncing back and forth here in the pack. We'll be able to see what's going on up the road from them here just shortly. And we have restored order to our own view. So let's flip back, and this is our own view inside the lead pack. We have McQuaid, Christensen, Ikibe, Mateus, Mitsuni, Piper, and a few others. Oh, and they just caught. Look at that. We just happened to... Let's flip this back real quick. We can see this as it happens. We're going to go back to Eric Denning. Look at Eric's screen. We couldn't see them on the riders list, but just up the road. So this is what happens when you get a group working together. Just up the road from Eric, you can see that lead pack. That's that lead pack with Justin Wagner, Ikibe, Christensen, some of those guys that got away on that first climb. They're not doing a lot of work. The second group did a lot of work, and now they brought it all back together. Group 1 and Group 2 have merged. This doesn't happen that often, especially this far between the hills. Usually once they're gone, they're completely gone away. But that second group has worked hard to catch back up that first group. And now you have a lead group of, let's look here. I'm showing about 25 guys in this front group. So definitely changes things up a little bit. So excellent effort by those guys to make that gap come down and get that back. It is now one group at the front. And this is then your first chase group here on the road with Claudia, M. White, Koning. These guys are over a minute back, almost 2 minutes back, so I don't expect them to catch. But they're forming a nice little second group here. Claudia has gotten away with no other females, so she is pretty well securing her position, I believe, as the lead female in this race. Okay, Kyle is giving me some info over there at Facebook. So Innovation Cycling has won 2 of the CVR races already today. Congratulations to them. And they have Mr. Christensen riding here today, going for the hat trick. They're going to go for 3 of 3 CVR wins today. So good luck to Team Innovation doing that. You've got a lot of competition out here for this one, so it will not be easy, but I know he's capable of it. So good luck to him, and trying to take 3 in a row for the team. We are back into a first-person view of this front group. Let's do a little looking around. We are coming up on the forward KOM, so guys, give me some climbing estimates. What do you think for the next KOM? What kind of times are we going to see? What kind of action are we going to have here? These are times up the KOM here. You can see on the right-hand side of the screen. To give you an idea, we will probably go faster than the time. Oh, these are the reverse KOMs, so these are 3:30s. I think we'll be down under 2 minutes on this one, so may not be able to give you good time estimates here. We're getting some estimates come in. 150 by Board Pilot. That may be a good guess. So while we've got some racing going on here, we are going to give you a little bit of a different view here. These groups are just kind of settled in now, getting ready to hit the climbs. So while that is going on, I'm going to show you guys a little bit of this view. What you see on the left-hand side of the screen here is the cycle data.cvrworldcup.com. So we've talked about Cycle View, where we're seeing all these live videos coming through. If you go over to the CVR World Cup website and look for the cycle data information, you can pull up live racing results right here. This is actually scrolling these people in the race with live stats during the race. Right now it's got turned on to be league only. I'm going to change it to all, and we'll see more names pop up in the list. We'll change it from gender male to gender all, and then we're going to turn on all the flagged in DNF riders. So now you're seeing all of the riders that are in the race. Some of them are struck through because they're not in the league. So they're racing, and they're more than willing, or more than welcome to race in the race, even if they're not in the league. They just don't count for league results. So when a league rider comes to this page, they know who they're racing for league results and who is just here racing for fun. So you can see the struck through riders not in the league or racing in the wrong zone. You see riders with the camera next to their name. If they have a camera next to their name, that means that they are live streaming on the CVR World Cup website. And then you can start seeing some statistics about the distance that they've performed, the watts per kilogram they're currently doing, their potential points, their current points, placement in the categories, things like that. So this is a real world kind of ticker of the race going on. And you can find that if you go to this Cycle View site. You can click right here for live race results and view those. So that is where we are finding that information. these guys are just getting ready to turn right and head up the mountain. I think when we hit the mountain, we are going to try to do a little bit of this viewing through some first-person views. So, let's get a few of these guys queued up for some first-person views. And who do we think is going to be the first one to light a fire going up the mountain? I think we're going to go with Justin Wagner. We're a little bit behind real time when we flip to these guys' views like that. I don't have a first-person view of McQuaid. I do believe McQuaid will be chasing, but we're going to go for some camera views of guys going up. So remember, we do drop about 20 or 30 seconds behind real time when we go to these views. So Justin is just now hitting the climb. And we're going to watch Justin attack this climb, and you notice that it is now racing on Justin's feed, or raining on Justin's feed. And here they go. They are attacking this climb. Justin is going over 800, 900 watts. You can see his cadence is up there, 120s for the cadence. I know Justin is riding just a traditional fluid trainer. I believe he's on a Kurt Kinetics rock and roll trainer. So you can see a little bit of movement back and forth, a little bit of sway in his bike. And you can see him really hammer, and that heart rate is coming up. Orange numbers everywhere. And it looks like Justin, Mitsuni, McQuaid, Christensen are getting a little bit of a gap. So we're going to keep an eye on Justin here, but we're also going to switch back to see. Here we've got Akibe. Akibe is pushing hard. He's a little bit behind that group. You can see that gap ahead of him. A little bit of choppy video on Akibe, but you can really see that train getting strung out ahead of him. And there is a big time gap between the front and the back of that pack for Akibe now. Back to Justin. He is still hammering. 300 meters to go. He is really pushing these guys at the top of the hill. He's got 4 guys with him with a 4 or 5 second gap behind him. Flores here. Jason Flores hammering at the front. Trying to close that gap, but those guys are just sneaking away from him. He's got his teammate Boyko right on his wheel, which is right where he wants him to be, helping out his buddy Boyko. And here we've got Eric Denning. That face of pain has lost track of that front group and is just doing his best to get up that hill and hoping somebody comes back to work with him. The pain of getting up that hill after making that big close. So it is a pretty awesome bit of power that these guys put out to get there. And it's amazing that they got over the hill together as they did at the front. Justin just did a 136 up that hill. Amazing suffering. And here we've got Claudia going up that hill now. We're going to watch Claudia go up the hill while I get my Zwift session restarted here so we can get back in and scan around the group a little bit. 136 is definitely a killer time up the front. Simon Nielsen is asking a technical question over at CycleView. Simon, that is called a chroma key. You basically have a solid color background like you see the weathermen have, a green screen, so to speak. And because usually they are green, mine's blue. But doing that, then you filter out that green color and it gives you a clean background. So look us up on Facebook over at Zwift Community Live Streamers, or do a little research on the internet and you'll find a lot of information. You can hit me up personally if you would like to on Facebook, and I'd be happy to help you with any streaming questions related to CVR or streaming in general. And that's true for any of you guys. Look me up over on Facebook if you have any streaming questions. I'm happy to help. Claudia is still here in just pain going up that hill. 184 heartbeats. You can see she's really suffering getting up that hill now. Trying her best to hold on to those guys going away in front of her. Kettleson and Koning. Hibbert and White are with her. She just needs to hold on to him for a few more seconds. She's just about where it flattens out. Just a couple more seconds, they'll break the top of that hill, and it's going to flatten out. It's not quite there yet, not quite there. So here Claudia has to really put in a dig to try to hold on to Kay Hibbard's wheel. We'll see if she gets this little kick in here. She does. She's still over 4 watts per kilogram. She's going to grab Hibbard, and she's going to go right around him, actually. And she's not giving up yet. She's going to try to push to see if she can catch on to these guys ahead of her. So let's see if Claudia can dig in here. Claudia is a triathlete. She's got a little bit better of that sustained power. And she may be able to put in a little effort here and stay with those guys. She has done the necessary work at this point to stay away from the other ladies in the race. And I believe she can time trial this home on her own if necessary. But it looks like she's settling in here with Hibbard and M. White. So good effort by her. She'll keep it up and she will push on to the finish. Also notice you don't see this on Claudia's first person view because she is looking straight out the front. But if we go over to Claudia's view from our perspective, you do notice this jersey on Claudia, and I wanted to stop for a second and point this out. Claudia earned this jersey because she won the Zwift USA National Championships for ladies, so she gets to wear this special jersey with the US flag on it. So congrats to her. Wanted to show that off a little bit for her because we can't see it in her first person view. So she gets to wear this awesome unique jersey. It is hers and hers alone for females. Adam Zimmerman wears the same jersey for men as he won the men's version of that race. But congratulations to her. There were many national jerseys awarded on Zwift. And you see Claudia actually caught up to that group there too. So we are back over into the men's race now. And we are going to focus on the front of the men's race now through the remainder of the race. That is going to be the goal, because we have some real efforts coming in here to try to secure the front of this race. So you can see here Justin Wagner, McQuaid, Zaki, Mitsutani got away from Ortiz, Divine, some of these other guys. This was the break that they made on the hill. And there are 4 of them. I believe Justin is the only one that we have live streaming here, but I'm going to go verify that. I'm hoping that maybe I can find another live streamer out of this group to view, but I don't know that we've got any others here. Oh, here we do. We do have Ortiz. Awesome. I'm not sure where Ortiz is streaming from, but right before we go into the Essies here, we'll get to Ortiz's view here in a little bit. We're going to watch Justin go into the Essies here. We're going to watch it from this point of view. Get these guys into the Essies. We have a little bit of a lag, so we can kind of watch them do this effort here. And then once they get into the Essies together, we can probably flip back over into Justin's main view and watch him suffer up that climb as well. So you can see here they've gotten to the top of this hill. Nobody is really kicking here. They're holding together. So we've got just a little bit of a lag. We're going to click this button and we're going to go to Justin's point of view, and we just jumped back down to the bottom of that hill. And now you can see Justin's first person point of view. We already know that nobody's going to break away on this climb, but we can see Justin's real suffering going on here. And then we also have Mr. Ortiz's view here as well. And he is back from Justin just a little bit, but he is another one of the riders that's in this front group. And he truly has the pain cave going on here. He is in his basement, concrete walls, box fans on the walls. He is suffering. So what an awesome view coming from Mr. Ortiz there. What a hammer fest he's got going on there. So going back to our first-person view, I don't believe we have any better views of this front group at this point. I believe Justin is the only person in this front group with a camera. So I'm going to keep my camera view on Justin. We're going to watch. We've got McQuaid, Mitsuni, Zaki, and Justin Wagner coming into the finish here. We're going to see a sprint finish. We have about a 30-second lag. So we may be able to get a sprint finish in real time and go back and actually watch Justin's reaction to it as he gears up for that as well. Andy is pointing out that yes, I believe a lot of the racers on the CycleView site, Mitsuni is the only one who's free to gain points from what I can see right now in this front group. For some reason, I think McQuaid might be able to gain points. I'm not sure what the qualifications are on him. That may be a flaw. So I wouldn't assume that McQuaid can't get points, as he is a normal league racer here. But let's watch this. We're not going to worry about that. We're going to watch this sprint right now. And it is not an issue if you win it. So here goes Justin going hard. I don't think anybody's got anything for him. He has got the numbers to beat them all right here. And you can see that there's some chasers coming up pretty quickly behind him as well. And there goes Justin for the win. What an effort. And we are able to bounce back, and we're going to watch Justin do this sprint in real time now. You can see Justin really suffering here. Look at that suffer coming from Justin, getting across the line there. You can see the final standings come across. You can see the pain on his face. You can see this is the finishing order that comes up on his screen. Those guys were catching fast. Akibe, Piper. You can see Akibe won that sprint out of the second group. We can see that firsthand on Justin's screen. Christensen was going for that three-peat for Team Innovation. Didn't quite make it, but an excellent performance there. So, looks like this is the top 14 as Zwift sees it. Not necessarily the top in the league. That will depend on league standings and how they filter out in that. So, let's go back to a first-person Zwift view here, and we have Claudia coming into the finish now with her group. And we can watch Claudia's finish here. Thanks for the words of encouragement over there at CycleView, Patrick. I appreciate that. This is Claudia's point of view coming into the finish. She is coming through the Essies, chasing her way through this group of men, trying to hold on to them to stay in for the finish. These guys will be racing for about a top 20 finish in the overall for the men. This will be the win for the ladies, I believe, with Claudia Baring. Claudia was our second place finisher at the LA Live event just a few weeks ago. Definitely a strong racer, and always comes out and represents CVR and all of her team very well. She is a part of Team Draft, which was also Mr. McQuaid in the race we just got done watching at the front of the race as well. So, nice large group here coming into the finish. And these guys are really hustling hard here to get across the finish line and take away the points from the league, or to just get bragging rights if they are not in the league. So we're going to see how this goes from Claudia's point of view. We don't really have any control to switch to different riders in that, watching her come into the finish like this, but we're able to see her effort. She doesn't have to sprint here, but maybe she'll give us a good little kick toward the end. And we can watch her hammer across the line here with the guys. We are about 400 meters to go here, and you can see there's the orange number from Hibbard. That is the initiation of the sprint. The guys are going to go hard. Claudia is going to kick up here. She is kicking into some orange numbers herself, and she is going to hold on to these guys. Look at that. She is not going to get beat. She is going to go after these guys just as if it were for 4 points. Good for her. The guys ran away with some of that raw power, but we've got Broadman, Kettleson. It looks like Broadman, Kettleson. Yeah, Broadman, Kettleson, Koning, I think, is going to be the finish order there. Well done, Claudia, getting across the line. There you see her finish screen. It pops up. She's able to scroll down to see her position overall. Her camera hides a little bit of that, but you can kind of scroll down. You can see that orange highlighted line is herself. About 3 minutes off of the lead and the power that she produced, her average heart rate. Kind of get a preliminary view of what the results are. In the upper right hand corner, you see categories A and E on this results screen that Claudia is showing, and she could click on the E and that would show her just the ladies, which I'm pretty confident she was the lead lady finisher there. So I believe that there was no concern as far as finishing order there for Claudia. So here we're back to standard side-by-side screens. We're going to go back over and show you a little bit of the summary information on the race. So remember, guys, anytime you want to come watch the racing, you can go over and watch first-person views of the racing through Cycle View. This screen here is a good illustration of what you can see over at Cycle View. On the right-hand side of the screen, you can chat here. You can see some of the chat information there. Now, you can set up your own stream. We are streaming right here, and it gives us information about our stream. You can go join the CVR World Cup League or view the league standings from this section, or you can view live results right here. So, if we want to view live results, we're going to pull up the live results right here for you. This is the race that we are watching, and you can see here we're going to select league only, and we're going to select, let's start with just male. According to this, we had Justin Wagner in first place, Jim McQuaid second, June Mizutani third, Akibe fourth, Christensen fifth. This is your establishment of your top racers in their particular groups. This is for all of the group. We can filter it by brackets, and we can see in the A bracket, Justin Wagner would be your preliminary. These are all preliminary results, guys. These still need to be filtered through some of the rules and that, but these are usually pretty good in the final results. So it looks like Tex Divine was the first to cross the line in the B category for the men. And C category, Jason Flores, which we had some first person views of Jason. Good job, J-Flow. First in the C bracket. And then in the D bracket, we've got Thomas Ringborg, who looks like he is still out on course, riding away. Not quite to the finish line yet. So we can go back to league only, which is showing all the brackets, and we can go over to the ladies. And here you can see that Claudia has completed the race. And her closest competition in the A bracket has not quite finished the race. So Claudia has definitely taken first place in the A bracket. And Esagul Golgap looks like she is getting ready to, probably not completely finished yet, to take the first place in the B bracket. Her and Terry Cashmore, Aaron Reese are all together. So these ladies here in the B bracket are still on course racing, it looks like. So I'm going to have a tight race here in the ladies between them. Unfortunately, I do not have a point of view for any of them. They are not currently showing cameras, but you can see their results there. We're going to go back to league only here again. And we also have Amy Levita down here racing in the ladies race today. So these are all your ladies racers from today. It looks like we just had, with this flag that was added to this first column, we are getting those B racers finishing just now. So you can see them as they come into the finish. So these are your results for today, and this is where you can see them. And then the other thing that you can look at is you can go over here and you can view the league standings. So this is the league standings. These automatically come up and default into my own standings. But you can go over here and look at the standings for the A bracket. So this race started 6 hours ago, and you can see here there's there's races now actually logged from earlier today already. Gavin Dempster, Gavin Arbor, Andrew Hinton. These guys have all raced today already. Gavin Dempster, Gavin Arbor look like they have 2 races worth of points out here in the A zone already. So they raced both races already. Here is the B zone for the men. Jeffrey Creel, James Phillips, Matthew Gardner, Matt Yankow, Shane Johnson. Those guys have all raced 2 races already. So when this race is complete, you're going to see points. When this race gets finalized, you will see these guys' points update. Justin Wagner, who we just watched race, won this race, so he's going to earn more points here, as well as Frank Michael Ortiz, Mizutani, Ikibe, McQuaid. We all saw these top 5 in this race, so they're all going to earn points, as well as Mateus, I believe, was in there as well. So this is where you will be able to look at the overall results. Just scrolling through here, the ladies A brackets. Rhiannon Norton in the A's group. Dixie Newsom in the B zone with Beth York there, neck and neck in the B zone. And then in the C zone, you can see here Claudia is currently holding down the lead of that, and she won the race today. So this is just kind of showing you how you can view the results. Remember, that all starts over here at Cycle View, and that's the best spot that you can go to view those and get the first person views. So guys, we've got races going on all day today. The next race starts in 2 hours. Most of the races will be streamed in all the locations that you're watching them now. Cycle View, the CVR World Cup Facebook page, CVR World Cup on Mixer. A few different locations and setups for commentary throughout the day right now. We're trying to streamline a little bit of that, but we've got a little bit different people manning the cameras, so to speak, on a few of those. So we all have a little different flavor to how we do the streams. Some people prefer different styles and formats. So the next guy that will be on here to stream may look a little different than me, may have a little bit different backgrounds and a little bit different styles. So come back and check those out. Make sure you like or follow the pages on Mixer, Facebook. Bookmark that cycleview.cvrworldcup.com page. Check out the sponsors at the bottom of the screen here. Big shout out to them. Ceres Companies, which includes PowerTap and Cyclops. Large cycling company, PowerTap with some awesome power meters. Ceres with some awesome cycling equipment, and Cyclops with some awesome trainers. Check those guys out. Appreciate their help. Peaks Coaching Group, led by Hunter Allen. Awesome training group. Coaches, if you're in the market for training or coaches, check them out. And then Garneau, some of the best cycling gear out there. Check them out. We thank them for coming on and helping CVR World Cup as well. So remember, guys, this is a video game, but this is real people doing real efforts, and we tried to show you that a little bit more today. As you can see here on the screen, we still have riders out there that are hammering away in their cooldown, just pedaling away, and these guys are playing a game. But it, as was said before by some other people, this could be the hardest video game out there, physical effort wise, because you must put the pressure into the pedals in order to compete. You have to get that heart rate maxed out and go hard if you want to compete and compete strong. So appreciate everybody for hanging out here, and I believe that will be the end of our Zone C racing today. I will be back racing in Zone H, and CVR World Cup as a whole will be back online for the upcoming zones D through G. We will have commentary on each one of those, and will be a lot of fun to watch that. We've got some awesome racing coming up. I'm looking forward to racing myself, and I hope to see all of you back to hang out and chat for those as well. So everybody have a good day, and hope to see you all soon.
stars. Reliant, we fall in love. And vanishing emptiness is what we want. To understand what's in our destiny. Can we break from all of the dependency? Can the nights with forward visions carry us through these conditions?